On 45 to Gatting, who played some lovely shots, or as many as one could have on this pitch. And Alan Lamb, 38 not out, played well within himself. And England have done very well in a day where there was hardly any pace coming from the pitch for them to play their strokes, and certainly very little pace for the bowlers. Lawson, none for 56, bowled pretty well early on. McDermott, the successful bowler. Holland, O'Donnell and Matthews, nothing at all against their names except runs. And England just 24 runs. That morning of the Cornhill Test match, I'm afraid dark cloud and rain meant no chance of play before lunch. The umpires made several inspections. The ground staff worked very, very hard, but the upshot was that 35 overs were long. We pick up play now in the first over. Greg Matthews is the bowler. It's the last ball, and he's bowling to Mike Gatting. Beautiful stroke for 4, and Gatting gets England off the mark in this rain-marred day. Bob Holland from the Warwick Road end, bowling to Lamb. Another lovely stroke. First of all, Gatting in Matthews over, and now Lamb thumps Holland away through mid-wicket. Feature of the running yesterday, the understanding between these two, and now Mike Gatting has reached his half century.
Yes, Mike Gatting's 50 off 104 balls, and he hit 7 fours.
The outfield doesn't show any signs of having slowed up because of the overnight rain. The 3 boundaries and a 2 so far from the 3 overs from the spinners for Australia.
Lamb has picked up the pace of the pitch really well, and that's his strong shot.
The second new ball has been taken. It's been given to Craig McDermott, who's taken all 3 wickets so far. Gatting didn't quite get onto that. The outfield will just slow it up enough that the boundary can be stopped, but they'll still get 3 runs. There's a good shot. So no worries about the second new ball from Mike Gatting. He's taken runs there with a glorious cover drive. McDermott to Lamb. Half century to Alan Lamb. Gatting is on 64. And England have moved along very smoothly since play began at 2 o'clock on this 3rd day. The crowd is packed in again today, and they waited very patiently indeed. And one of the reasons they'll be along here today is to see that music aficionado who's sitting on the balcony there with his pads on, reading a copy of the National Geographical magazine.
Lawson to Gatting. That's a great shot. Short, hammered away square. Exactly the treatment it deserved. Beautiful shot from Gatting.
Well, there are not many players look much better than Mike Gatting when he's in full flow. And another beautiful shot here that really sped away to the cover point boundary.
It's through mid-on with a fine on drive. And Mike Gatting really found his touch. A long chase. In fact, could run 4 if it hadn't gone over the ropes. So 2 real fine boundaries in this over from Gatting. Beautiful square cut, followed by the on drive. So it's McDermott again. Looks as though it's going through for 4, but it wasn't too far away from being a catch to mid-on. Ball seemed to just stop slightly on Alan Lamb, carried on with the stroke, but all's well for him in the end. It's 4 more. Had a bad delivery short. Hammett breaks the cover off the back foot this time, and that's 4 more to Alan Lamb. And runs really flowing now for England. Lawson in now. This is his 26th over. The 150 partnership coming up for this 4th wicket, and it's taken 278 balls. Well, that's a great shot. Fine hook shot, hooked in front of square very comfortably by Alan Lamb. That brings England past the 300 mark. 302 for 3. 67 now to land. Simon O'Donnell coming on, taking over from McDermott. It's a sharp single. If he hits, he's got to be close, and he's run out. Well, Mike Gatting going for the quick single, called Alan Lamb. A lovely pick up there from Matthews. He shy direct, hit the wicket, and Alan Lamb just that little bit short. So England's 4th wicket goes down at 304. Alan Lamb run out for 67.
Well, it was always a fairly tight run because Gatting hit it quite firmly. The fielder picked it up very quickly. He'd only 1.5 stumps more or less to aim at. And you can see there Alan Lamb is always struggling.
Well, here he comes. Both of them in at number 6. Man, this packed Old Trafford crowd really have come to see. So McDermott gets a crack downwind now, comes on to take over from Jeff Lawson. And that's nudged away to a 3rd man by Mike Gatting, gone for the 1st, racing back for the 2nd, have to hurry. Just made the ground. That was a fairly important run for Mike Gatting because that takes him on to his best score in England in a Test match. Well, it's really a pity he didn't keep the man back for Gatting. Would have saved 4 runs. And Mike Gatting, whose timing has been so good, so efficient here today, puts him away for another 4.
Simon O'Donnell is pushing up into the breeze to allow Lawson and McDermott to come down with the breeze. Yeah, this will be all good experience for him. And so will that.
I'd like to say that he's got the pace of it, but I'm not quite certain about that either, Richie. Might have gone anywhere, that shot, but it was certainly going somewhere. Started towards mid-on, shaped to go to mid-on, but in fact went through mid-wicket.
There's one gone back at long on, there's one going back at long off. This is the field the Australians will use when Botham is going. They've decided already that he is going. He's made 10. Gatting's on 87. He's been an interested spectator of all this at the other end. Fielded. Matthews again. He's had a good day. In fact, he's had a good match in the field. Very keen. Useful bowler, dogged batsman, and a brilliant fielder.
And Australia will need to be feeling like that if Botham's playing like that. England 65 runs ahead, and it is important because time has been lost that they get a move on. And of course they could anticipate that they'd lose more time for rain during this match. Gatting and Lamb on their 131 made tremendous progress. And Gatting, like Botham now, has the license to play all the attacking strokes.
That's 4 more. That's a lovely shot.
A super shot. Didn't force it at all, waited for the ball to come on. It was just slanting across him, and he picked it off the pads. Very quickly square on the onside.
Just the fingertips to that in the outfield with the sun on it, and the wind has quickened up. Beautifully placed. Gatting goes to within 4 of a century. That was a lovely shot, copybook stuff.
Yeah, see, exactly where it was going. Just that gap through the extra cover. There was a cover there was a mid-off there, but straight between both, and he didn't bother to run. He knew the power of it, he knew the direction.
Gave that some thump. In some other context, that might have been a very good Yorker. What it did with both of them was fairly belt off the middle of the bat.
Some people need an excuse to play like this. For example, that so much time's been lost for rain that they have an excuse for getting out, for going for their shots. But really, Ian Botham plays like this all the time. His instinct is always to attack, always looking for the big shots. He's the envy of a lot of players who have to collect their runs in 1s and 2s, because his shots go for 4s or a gentle push for 3.
O'Donnell. Well done. Well, McDermott's got him, but I'm not too sure that you could really mark it down as something that was definitely planned. But both of them went for it. I should think tactically England have decided to push on for the runs. That's perhaps the way he should have played it. Didn't do so, and he's gone for 20. Caught O'Donnell, bowled McDermott. 25 balls, 34 minutes and 3/4, and McDermott has all 4 wickets now to fall to a bowler.
I think both of them will be annoyed there, because that's one of his favourite shots, the short ball, slowish pitch. And I'm sure in his mind's eye he saw that ball sailing over the stand there. Seemed to get the top half of the bat. He did play it well. But a good mover, Simon O'Donnell, head still all the way, moving neatly underneath it and taking it. The hands giving an excellent running catch on the boundary, and the 4 wickets to Craig McDermott.
There it is, 100 for Gatting. He's already gone past his 1,000 runs for the summer. It's his first Test 100 against Australia and the first he's ever made in this country. And a nice moment to be able to be congratulated by his teammate from Middlesex, Paul Downton. Mike Gatting, 100, won 79 balls and 14 boundaries. A splendid innings. Indeed it was. Mike Gatting's century, 103 not out at tea, with 11 more runs added to take England on to 354 for 5. Botham 20 and Lamb 67 out to that brilliant piece of fielding from Greg Matthews. 354 for 5, and that was a very good performance from England. Gatting leading the way and getting good support from the other batsmen. I think that was the best long innings I've ever seen Mike Gatting play, and one that was thoroughly appreciated by a capacity crowd here. The gates closed for the second day in succession. We join play now after tea with the very first ball. O'Donnell is coming in and Gatting is taking strike.
That's a great way to get things away after tea. Half volley clipped away quite beautifully, as has been his wont here all day. 4 runs on the leg stump.
Sam McDonnell just straying there down the leg side, and Mike Gatting clipping it away, picking it up without any problem at all, just past the square leg umpire.
So that gives England a 3-figure lead now, 101 runs ahead. And they're looking for another 100 fairly quickly. That's another beautiful stroke. Really flowing from Gatting's bat now, clipped through that vacant area between mid-wicket and mid-on for 4 more. Exactly the sort of acceleration that England need and this massive Old Trafford crowd enjoy. Beautifully placed again, perfectly timed for 4 more. Just simply leant on that, picked the right spot and found it.
Well, Mike Gatting certainly playing some classic shots here today, and another beauty there. Beautiful follow through, head perfectly still, and plenty of power into the shot.
So Lawson continuing to peg away here. Oh, beautiful stroke. Really has played that so well here. Short outside the off stump, right on top of it, cracked it away square. 4 more for Gatting.
Lawson on for 93. Well, a bit better than that yesterday, but today I think both he and McDermott have tended to be too short. They've been trying to get out of this pitch something that isn't really there. There's no bounce, there's no pace. Doesn't matter how hard you try, you can't generate it on a surface like this. 388 for 5. And here's Holland. Field it. David Boone it is, with the bandaged left hand.
Almost repeating the shot there, but again that didn't bounce quite high enough, didn't get quite the same power, and a good bit of fielding.
This is the sort of break Gatting needed. A couple of short ones and then a full toss. Nicely timed. Attempted Yorker from Lawson. And good running as well from Mike Gatting to come back to 3. It only went 3 parts of the way to the boundary. 400 up for England. Capacity crowd here, 20,000 people in at Old Trafford. I have read in years gone past that there's 38,000 used to cram into this ground. But nowadays, with different safety regulations and a seat for everyone, capacity is reduced to 20,000. It's much more comfortable, and it is still a great sight. Single to Paul Downton. By David Shepherd, hands Lawson his sweater, and they're all looking at that cloud behind us now. The umpires have the job of trying to make certain the covers can be got on the ground and the pitch be covered before anything actually hits. Now, that's what the light meter says. That's gone even further back towards the left, towards what you might term 12 o'clock, I suppose. Now, that is away to the side of the ground. Here's Bob Holland. No chance there. Alan Border wasn't interested. The bowler was. So to short leg. Umpire Bird, no interest at all.
Downton getting the pad well out there, but it's the sort of thing that might happen. We saw Andrew Hilditch, the first innings, getting a pad first and bat second. The whole point about the bad light, of course, is that England in this position, 410 for 5, with Gatting there and 146, and Downton well set, would not be keen to go off the field at this stage. Loss of play this morning session, and I'm sure David Gower would anticipate losing some more play during the match, and it would pay England to stay on the field. And so they have. They were off with the light. Gatting and Downton decide to stay on. Absolutely correct decision if England are to forge ahead now, create the time in the match to bowl Australia out a second time.
Four runs and 150 for Mike Gatting.
Innings of fine quality from Mike Gatting. Excellent defence at the start, but we've seen a wide range of strokes and none more handsome than this one. The straight drive properly played.
Little nudge away for a single, and Gatting having to hurry.
Yes, it's amazing how tired you can get, play a long innings, and you think you can make it. It was Gatting's call, went behind the stumps, and off he went, but the legs weren't quite going as quickly as they had done in the morning session. Just home.
Well, that's neatly played. Beautiful late cut there. That's enough, says Gatting. Two will do. It's never been an easy wicket to play a cut shot on here. Ball not coming on, but that again was very skillfully timed. And the one successful bowler, Craig McDermott, coming back into the attack from the Stretford end. That's a nice shot. Tremendous piece of fielding. Terrific enthusiasm there from Matthews. 5 minutes past 6, he's been there since 2 o'clock. He's still diving full length like a goalkeeper in full flight.
It's a sight we've never seen before the advent of one-day cricket. And even then, even allowing for all the miracles we see these days, I think that was exceptional, Jim, wasn't it?
That was really quite incredible. And he's loving every minute of it. Look at that light meter moving round. There's a splurge of sunshine ahead. There's a crack in the clouds, down it streams. And that's what we've missed. And how lucky can you be? Or possibly unlucky. You're looking from an Australian point of view. And he's gone this time, finally at the end. A catch to the wicket-keeper at the end of a magnificent innings of 160 from Mike Gatting. 430 for 6, another 5 wickets in an innings for McDermott. But that really has been a magnificent performance from Michael Gatting. The details of it, 266 balls, close on 6 hours and including 21 fours. And still an enormous crowd here to the bitter end at Old Trafford. The pavilion rises to him, and rightly so, because that really has been far and away his best performance in this country. And let's not forget this 20-year-old who's taken 5 of the 6 wickets that have gone down, 5 for 116.
Mike Gatting, maybe a little bit weary. Determined to give this one a real belt. He was wading into it, faintest nick, and Phillips goes with it, falls over backwards.
John Embury well helmeted. And now Border can attack a little more. 2 slips and a short leg. It's quite dark. It's quite amazing that he found that right in the middle of the bat. So 4 runs to John Embury. And several of the fielders rather pleased it didn't come their way.
You'd think he'd been batting here all day. Immaculate shot, and that's his off the mark 4. I've even done him the great compliment of putting a man out there at deep square leg. That's Greg Matthews.
That was all too easy. And they just stood there and stroked their way through the offside for 4.
Well, yet again, improved how well we can bat in. Poor light, beautifully played.
And it's pouring down. There'll be no doubt now the players will be herring off the field. On come the covers. And the rain finally comes down here at 22 minutes past 6, and it's very heavy.
And that heavy rain continued to the extent that no more play was possible. England finishing at that score of 448 for 6, Gatting 160, and the not-out batsmen Downton 23 and Embury 12. The Australian bowlers, 3 of them with 100 against their name. Lawson none for 108. I think bowled a bit better than that. McDermott all 5, and Holland the other one with the 100 mark up. O'Donnell and Matthews the other bowlers used, but McDermott 5 for 127 from 31.4 overs. England 191 runs ahead in the box seat. They've done wonderfully well tactically in the box seat. They've done wonderfully well tactically in this game. A very, very fine performance from them. It was a funny sort of day, actually. It was a day really for umbrellas and bikinis. The sun kept breaking through, and it was quite warm at times, and then the rain would come down. But England did wonderfully well all the way through to finish up with that lead of 191, due today in the main to the batting of Mike Gatting, who scored his first Test century against Australia and his first ever in this country. What a great moment for him.